Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Colosimo with another, I think it's our 8th episode of the Weekly Juan Diego. And I'm here with Michelle Moynihan. She is in charge of campus ministry, right?
Correct.
What's your title?
I'm the Director of Campus Life.
The Director of Campus Life.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's lots of activities that surround campus life. Can you tell us just about a few of them?
Yeah, we have a number of them, but the ones that I oversee personally are our social justice leadership class. It's a senior elective theology class, and we run some of the service projects on campus, things like that. We have the ambassador program, our student faith and liturgy committee that plans our liturgies and prayer experiences around campus, peer ministry, stamps, all sorts of things.
And the big one is Kairos?
Yes. Yeah.
Is Kairos part of campus life?
It is, yes.
Yeah. And so I call it the big one, but it really isn't the big one other than it's probably, I guess what I would say is Kairos is like maybe the most intense of our campus life experiences. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree. It kind of, I think for many students, ends up being kind of like the pinnacle of their experience in campus life is their Kairos experience.
So say that for your audience that may not be familiar with it, like what is Kairos?
So Kairos is a 4-day retreat for both junior and senior students on our campus. And the retreat really focuses in simple terms on your relationship with yourself, with others, and with God. And the retreat, we go off campus. They're with a number of their peers. It's a student-led retreat, so their peers actually run the retreat itself, which is a really cool thing. And they get to have lots of kind of unique experiences that I think many of them remember for a lot of their life.
What does Kairos mean?
Kairos means God's time.
That is a Greek word, right?
It is a Greek word, yes.
Did we invent Kairos, or is it something we adapted from another?
We did not. So Kairos is a national program, actually, that's been around for quite some time. I've heard rumors that you and Mr. B went on something of a Kairos when you were in high school.
We called it Search.
Oh, Search.
It wasn't called Kairos, but I guess Search may have been a forerunner to Kairos. And Mr. B went on. I got kicked out of it.
Oh, well, should have known.
4-day retreat. I lasted 3 days. And I was
then you were
so
out of there.
Sick, I had to go home. But Mr. B went all 4 days, and he says it's great.
Yeah.
But that's a long, long time ago. Was Kairos like really refined by the Jesuit order?
It was, yeah. So Kairos was designed, by the Jesuits for their Jesuit schools, their Jesuit high schools. And since then, it's been adapted for, many different kinds of high schools.
Right. So do you know the history about how it came to Juan Diego?
I know most of the history. It just missed me by a year, the Kairos program here at Juan Diego, but my younger sister was on Kairos 2, I believe.
Yeah, so the way it happened is that we have a school it's not our school, there's a school, a diocesan school in Nevada, it's in Reno called Bishop Minogue. And we had not really a partnership, but we had done a number of things with them. And I knew one of the big things that they had, which they touted as one of the most important experiences the students had, was this Kairos. And the way Kairos is supposed to work, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't be a Kairos school unless another Kairos school comes and teaches you how to be a Kairos school. And so it was Bishop Minogue High School from Reno, Nevada, that going on, 10 years ago, that came and taught us how to do the Kairos retreat. So that would have been Kairos 1. There's a lot of secret things that go on with Kairos that are secret, not because it's some hidden rite.
Scary ritual.
what you're trying to do is preserve the experience for upcoming students.
Correct.
And so you kind of make this pact with the current students that what goes on at Kairos is, why do you do that?
We like to tell the students that it's kind of like Christmas morning. Like if you were to know what all of your presents were going to be when they're under the tree, like you might still appreciate them and be excited about them, but to have that kind of anticipation and surprise of Christmas morning is special. And that's really how we feel about Kairos. It's not that it wouldn't be special with knowing, but the kind of surprise of it all and the timing of things that we do really makes it a special experience.
And do you think, for the most part, that pact that you make with students about keeping the experience quiet so that other students might enjoy it in a fresh way, do you think that that's been All true?
Yeah, I would say the vast majority of the time it's true, which is kind of surprising because you think high schoolers, they're like, whatever, I'm just going to tell. But many of them take it very, very seriously, kind of the confidentiality and the surprise of Kairos.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would kind of ruin it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the deal? Like you go on Kairos, do you leave like on a Thursday afternoon and then come back Sunday? Is that how it works?
Yep. So we leave Thursday after school, and then we're up there until Sunday. We get back Sunday afternoon.
So you're there the full Kairos retreat. It starts Thursday night, but Friday, Saturday, and then half day Sunday is really
correct.
Is the Kairos. When you say up there, I mean, what is it? Do we go to heaven? Or
Yeah,
do we go to like Park City? Do we go to the Uinta Mountains? What do you mean by up there?
Well, Father Michael Augustine likes to say that it's sacred ground because we make it that. But we go to a lodge in Heber, actually.
So it's changed over the years, right?
It has, yeah.
It really kind of just comes down to what we can find available.
Logistics, yeah.
And by logistics, why are logistics tough? Like how many students go on one Kairos?
It varies anywhere from like 20 to 35 with this current site that we have. That's about what we can fit. But at some of the older sites, you could bring a bigger group.
It's good to keep it smaller too.
It is, yeah. Yep.
And then how many would we do like on average in a given year?
We do 4 a year. So typically the seniors go in the fall and then the juniors go in the spring.
I said, now do you have to go on a Kairos retreat?
You do not. It is not required for any of our students, but traditionally we have like 85 to 90% of our students go on Kairos.
So it's interesting. It's become a really popular thing. Most of our students go. They're not required to go, and they don't really know exactly what is going to happen to them when they go. And yet it's still really, really popular.
Yeah, the kids often, the leaders especially, will tell the students like, just get on the bus. Because sometimes those couple days right before they get nervous, they're like, what did I sign up for? I don't know anything about it. But that's kind of become the adage, just get on the bus, you'll enjoy it.
So once you're there, maybe you can't say because the shroud of secrecy is in place, but can they use their cell phone and can they, walk around the city and can they go out at night for dinner or meet for coffee in the morning or how does it work?
So it is kind of a closed retreat and an unplugged retreat. So we actually take their phones and computers and iWatches and AirPods and you name it, whatever technology they have. And we take it for the 4 days. And it's funny, that is something that is kind of scary for some of them, but at the end, I've, talked to lots of students that are like, I wish I could just leave my phone. I wish I didn't have to take it back because they realize how much it impacts their day-to-day life when they don't have access to it.
When you say unplugged, what you mean is that they're unplugging from lots of things.
Right.
But technology and then also the daily routine and their life at home and life at school.
Yeah.
And can they know what time of the day it is?
They cannot. So that's part of the God's time. They don't know. We take away watches, and the student leaders are meticulous about covering up clocks in the house. And they don't know what time it is.
They could guess, but
they
don't know if it's 3:30 in the afternoon or 1:30 in the afternoon. I see. And then there's all kinds of maybe you can't say it because it's specific, but there's all kinds of sharing sessions where students kind of talk amongst themselves. And then there's other rituals that are a little bit more private. But when you put it all together, it ends up with an experience that what the students say is they come down, maybe you can't say this, but they come down from that, and there's this phrase that you guys use that's called live the fourth. What's the fourth? Are they talking about like the 4th of July? Are they talking about the 4th day of Kairos?
The 4th day of Kairos,
Okay, so the deal is they're at Kairos for basically the better part of 3 days, and then they come down from that experience, and there's an effort to say to them that, okay, you don't just want to have this great thing for 3 days, you want it to continue for the 4th day, and you want to live that, every day, each and every day. What does that mean? You want them to live in the light of faith, you want them to live with a connection to God.
That's certainly part of it. Also just the lessons that they learned from being with their peers for 4 days and what they shared with each other. And, really it comes down to a lot of students would say love, like being active love for their neighbor.
Yeah, and you talk about 3 different kinds of love. There's love of self, love of others, and love of God.
Right.
So the retreat kind of as times or experiences that would focus on each of those three elements.
Right.
Right. So did I get all that right?
Yeah, sounds great.
You did well.
You did.
Well, Michelle, thank you for visiting with us today, and good luck on the Kairos Retreat, which is happening next
Thank you.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And good luck for all of it.
Yeah, keep us in your prayers.
And thank you.